I think we can now approach the last but not least key thematic area, which is the one we were in charge as the Toscana Life Sciences and the Tuscany region. I think there is a video from our Minister of Health, Simone Bezzini, which introduces the commitment of the Tuscany region on personalized medicine.
Buongiorno e benvenuti anche da parte mia alla conferenza di chiusura del progetto europeo Regions4PerMed. In questi anni il progetto ha affrontato un tema molto importante e rilevante, ovvero il coinvolgimento delle regioni europee nell'implementazione della medicina personalizzata e nella traslazione della ricerca clinica all'interno dei sistemi sanitari. Regione Toscana ha adottato da tempo un modello innovativo per favorire investimenti in ricerca, facilitare la creazione di infrastrutture solide e condivise, nonché accompagnare il trasferimento tecnologico per accelerare l'approdo sul mercato di soluzioni innovative al fine di facilitare la modernizzazione del servizio sanitario regionale in modo sostenibile. A livello regionale, il modello organizzativo condiviso ha portato alla creazione dell'Ufficio per la valorizzazione della ricerca biomedica e farmaceutica in collaborazione con la Fondazione Toscana Life Sciences. Lo scopo di UVAR è di fornire un supporto integrato al sistema della ricerca in sanità, con particolare riferimento alla protezione della proprietà intellettuale, alla gestione e valorizzazione dei risultati della ricerca e al supporto per l'avvio al processo di industrializzazione e di sperimentazione clinica. Dal 2009 al 2022 UVAR ha valutato 227 Invention Disclosure Valued, depositato 69 domande di brevetto ed elaborato 127 contratti di trasferimento tecnologico. Progetto Precision Medicine che ha portato alla costituzione del CREMEP, Centro regionale per la medicina di precisione, per la creazione di una piattaforma integrata pubblico-privata ad accesso aperto di Precision Medicine che ha permesso ad imprese ed organismi di ricerca di potenziare le proprie progettualità condividendo competenze, strutture e risorse e mettendole al servizio del sistema sanitario regionale. Creazione della rete Presidio Affari Europei Internazionali in ambito sanitario, sociosanitario e sociale. Distretto Scienze della Vita che ha favorito interazione e sinergie tra impresa, accademia e servizio sanitario regionale. Finanziamento e supporto a progetti regionali, nazionali e transnazionali. Dal 2015 al 2022 sono stati avviati 94 progetti per un totale di risorse investite e attratte pari a circa 105 milioni di euro. Smart Specialization Strategy, la medicina personalizzata, la cui definizione è in linea con quella elaborata dalla Commissione europea, è diventata una priorità della nostra strategia regionale di specializzazione. La nostra strategia di collaborazione internazionale invece è improntata alla moltiplicazione dell'impatto delle attività messe in essere, nonché alla creazione di quelle competenze regionali essenziali per prepararci alle sfide che il mondo della ricerca in sanità ci pone. A questo scopo la Regione partecipa proattivamente ad ICP-PerMed, il consorzio internazionale per la medicina personalizzata, di cui fanno parte oltre 40 partner europei ed internazionali, che rappresentano ministeri, regioni, organizzazioni pubbliche e private di finanziamento della ricerca sanitaria no profit, organizzazioni politiche e la Commissione europea. Ha investito attraverso la rete Eranet 925.000 euro in gruppi di ricerca toscani per l'implementazione di 6 diversi progetti di ricerca transnazionali sulla medicina personalizzata, il cui valore complessivo è di 3,9 milioni di euro. Dare la possibilità ai nostri ricercatori di partecipare a queste reti di finanziamento congiunto ha avuto un duplice effetto positivo. Ha permesso ai ricercatori di confrontarsi con gruppi di ricerca internazionali e di crescere attraverso il confronto, mettendo a punto attività, progettualità sempre più sfidanti ed interdisciplinari. ha contribuito a migliorare la qualità della ricerca e dell'innovazione nella regione tramite la cooperazione e il confronto con i responsabili delle politiche e i finanziatori della ricerca di altre regioni. Ma il nostro impegno sulla medicina personalizzata non si esaurisce qui. Abbiamo già dato un commitment finanziario di 2,1 milioni di euro da investire in un'ulteriore ricerca transnazionale attraverso la partecipazione alla partnership europea sulla medicina personalizzata che investirà tra il 2023 e il 2030 circa 300 milioni di euro sul tema. Infine, siamo onorati di ospitare il prossimo workshop del Consorzio Internazionale in Toscana il prossimo 14 e 15 novembre 2023 a Siena.
Okay. So it's now official. The next IC4PerMed workshop will be held in Siena, and we are very, very happy that this is happening. So it's up to me now to present the outcomes of the fifth key thematic area tackled by Regions4PerMed, which was titled is Tackling Ethical, Economical, Legal and Social Aspects of Personalized Medicine. During the first four presentations, we have seen these thematics popping up in a cross-sectional way. So we decided that they had to be part of a specific key thematic area. I'm doing the presentation, but most of the work has been done by Letizia Pontoriero, who will join tonight because today she was discussing her PhD thesis. Everything went well, so she's a doctor now. Anyway. So, first of all, again, I need to restate the definition of personalized medicine that we took as a Regions4PerMed project. I'm not going to read again. I did it before, but this is it is important because it's the definition on which basis the whole work has been carried out. What we did in this pillar, in this key thematic area, we organized a conference as all the other partners, where we invited key experts to discuss the barriers, the needs of socioeconomic aspects in personalized medicine. All these needs have then been brought in a workshop, which was held in Firenze, in Florence, with the support of an expert group that we created ad hoc to create, deliver, and approve the recommendations of this key thematic area. Regarding the experts we have involved, first of all, we shaped this key thematic area in 5 sessions. The first one was based on ethical experts, and we invited two people who were discussing different aspects of the same topic. The same went with session 2, public trust. We have seen it popping up quite often. We need to increase public trust, so we decided to actually understand which are the main challenges of public trust around personalized medicine and what can be done to reinforce public trust on personalized medicine within the society. The third was developed by the third session was the economic value of personalized medicine. We had 2 perspectives. The first one is from Professor Elio Borgonovi from Bocconi University, was more from the public investment point of view. The second one from Dr. Rositsa Koleva-Kolarova was more based on health economics assessment that she has been doing with her work and also within the IC4PerMed project, which is another CSA funded by the European Commission. We didn't want to we also wanted to discuss diversity, inclusion, and personalized medicine. So how diversity and inclusion needs to be included in personalized medicine programs and activities to avoid biases and that then can be transformed in barriers to access to healthcare and access to new therapeutics and new personalized medicine solutions. And we did this with Professor Yvonne Bombard from University of Toronto and also Maxine McIntosh, which is actually the program lead of diversity initiatives from Genomics England. And last, but not least in this case, is also the sex and gender and personalized medicine. So we wanted to understand which are the main sex and gender biases which still apply in health research in general and personalized medicine in particular, and to understand how we can overcome these kind of barriers if we want to have if we don't want to increase health inequalities and inequality in health innovation for the citizen and patients. Then the second one, as I said, we gathered all this input. We went to a workshop which were led by 5 different experts. Most of them were the same one involved in the conference, and together with an expert group, which was a group of international experts, which were gathered together in the same location to discuss with these chairs on how to develop key recommendations. So the approach compared to the other key thematic area was a bit different because it was the first one that we had in person after the pandemic. So we decided that compared to 2018, when the Regions4PerMed was conceived, we needed to readapt to make sure that to have more, let's say, on-topic discussions. As I said, this is the rationale of the thematic area. We tackled these 5 aspects. And regarding the ethical aspects, we started from highlighting the state of art. So we know that the integration of research and clinical practice under personalized medicine have historically been kept distant. So we have ethical principles which apply for patients, which are more restrictive, more devoted to protection, and then we have the research principles, which are more openness, provide openness, provide access to data. These 2 key approaches have to be balanced and mitigated, and have to find a way to coexist if we want to improve research, improve health outcomes. So the key challenges that we identified is that we have to enable data sharing while protecting patient interests. We were discussing before of the risk of de-identification. We know that by effect that now anonymized data can be re-identified. So we have to balance, we have to take care of this risk, and we have to try to find a way to tackle this problem. Then we have the problem of return of genomic results to the patient, the informant consent models and patient self-determination, the education and empowering patients approach, as well as doctors and public about precision medicine. Again, address the risk of identification in the patient consent form, set up a comprehensive data concept for genetic data protection concept for genetic data, and raising awareness through the organizational code of conducts. At policy level, we have the European health data space that is now being discussed at the European Parliament. Actually, I think the draft version is open until the 23rd of March for us accepting the amendments, and then will hopefully be approved by the committees and then by the European Parliament in next month. But even if we have a careful read of the European health data space and the regulation, there is still the risk of misalignment and fragmentation about European regulatory frameworks. There is a lack of robust governance and political legitimacy that could undermine the application of the regulation. There are still barriers on the implementation and the secondary use of data. So we brought this into discussion in the workshop. There is the report that is coming up, and one of the key recommendations that were given by experts on this topic is to invest, and this is has popped up quite always in all the 5 thematic area. We need to invest in centralized, qualitative, interoperable health data infrastructures. We have to promote benefit sharing policies between public and private entities. We have to endorse and enable federated data mechanisms where there is no need to provide data, but the researchers and innovators can access data without transfer the data. We have to set up, we need to make sure that the European health data space will be set with a strong data governance. And we need to, one of the key topic of the European health data space is the health data access bodies, which are still unclear. It's still unclear, as was emerged in the discussion, their role is still unclear, and I mean, more attention should be put on this in these health data access bodies. The second rationale that we developed was about public trust. So again, we started from setting the scene and framing the background, which then enabled us to go to the conferences where some challenges were identified. First of all, public trust, especially in personalized medicine, is a complex question and requires long-term bottom-up work at the regional, national, and international levels. Studies are needed to document, analyze contextual factor in public trust and public acceptance of certain activities, adapting it to the national local dimension. Two-way involvement of and engagement with the public is crucial in finding mutually beneficial solutions. So we need to explain what is the trade-off for people and citizens to give access to their data. We need to frame and communicate well what's the trade-off, what is in for everyone who is participating in this big endeavor of public personalized medicine. Public trust in personalized medicine should be considered in conjunction with general question of public trust in science, and we have seen that with COVID-19, the lack of public trust has in certain countries, in certain regions, jeopardized all the public efforts to tackle the COVID-19 pandemics. Transparency is also key, and it should be enabled in terms of practice, public-private relation and benefit, but also in terms of short and long-term benefits of personalized medicine. So we should tackle the societal benefits. We should try to frame, capture, and communicate. Some key recommendations. This I already mentioned before. We have ethic boards in the clinical research, which are completely lacking the presence of patient and citizen representatives. We need to set up a training and education program to enable and reinforce the dialogue for clinician to person. The language is important. More lay communication should be developed to explore the benefit and communicate the benefit of personalized medicine. We should establish, also leveraging the activities that have been already carried out at a European level, continuous patient engagement and empowerment programs which can be monitored, reviewed, and updated. The public trust process must be and communicated by stressing on information before education. And trust should be built about the concrete clinical outcome of what is personalized medicine and what the clinical outcome of personalized medicine can bring to people and patients, as research is becoming more and more complex, especially when we discuss about big data, artificial intelligence, machine learning, and so on and so forth. The third part of the key thematic area was focused on the economic value of personalized medicine. We started again here by setting the scene and bringing the discussion into the conference. So one of the key challenges that emerged is as personalized medicine is developed and implemented in clinical practice, there is an increasing need to assess its value for citizen and healthcare. We always need, we also hear policymaker wondering whether or not investment in precision medicine are sustainable and so on and so forth. There is a debate and uncertainty on whether personalized medicine provides economic value and how to balance the need for new technologies with the affordability and overall sustainability of healthcare systems. And if, on one side, genomics has the potential to reduce costs by ensuring that the most effective treatment is used for the most appropriate patient, which is the basic the essential of personalized medicine, decision maker and stakeholder need to have information on which approach provides relatively high value in order to make the appropriate investment decisions. All these challenges, as I said, we addressed the conference from two different perspectives, and after the discussion, we came with these recommendations. So first of all, we should design flexible delivery organization, healthcare delivery organization, that go well beyond the conventional hospital services. So we need to also trying to deliver health innovation not only in the hospital-based healthcare system, but in a more territorial-based system, because this would reduce costs, as the expert pointed out. We should adopt new reimbursement system for personalized medicine innovation, which is payment for performance and outcomes. We should, more research on health research that puts in also costs for tests should be supported at regulatory level. We need to provide access to clinical trial and real-world data, because this would ensure more qualitative health economic evaluation. One of the main question that outcome also of the ECO-PerMed project is that the current health assessment are based on data, are based on the available data, and the available data on the available real-world data are not sufficient to carry out appropriate health economic analysis. We should include non-economic benefits in terms of quality of life in the health economic evaluation, because that makes the difference. If we only base our consideration on the healthcare costs and we not factor in the quality of life of the patients, it will be very hard to advocate for personalized medicine. And then we should introduce a new account system for treatment that in general have a high unit cost and reduction of costs for future years. This is because at the regional level, we have now a silos. The budget is made by silos. So the costs that we have today, the investment that we have today, generate benefits which are not framed, which are not captured by the same department. So what we should include is, what we should try to do is to, at least from the public perspective, we should find to create a new account system where, if the investment comes from one department, I'm able to capture the savings, so that my investment plan can actually capture and be also financially sound. Diversity, inclusion, and personalized medicine. This is the rationale. This is the state of art where we started, and what we highlighted when we started approaching this aspect is that the participation of individuals of non-European ancestries remain underrepresented in many European and North American initiatives. We see that a lot of efforts, a lot of investment are being deployed in Europe and America, but they're only gathering people from European and North American ancestry, let's call it like this. So they are not open to all the kind of ancestry, ethnicity, and so on and so forth. These are some of the challenges that we have identified. Currently, the zip code impacts health outcomes more than genetic code. This is largely due to the nature of the communities that people reside in. The participation of individual of non-European ancestry remains low in many of the European and North American initiatives on personalized medicine. The participation of minority groups is of utmost importance as it has significant scientific implication and is essential to guarantee equal access to healthcare. The reference research databases on which today many of the research is carried out are still biases because of the underrepresentation of genomes across ancestral backgrounds. The vast majority of genetic information that is currently used to interpret disease come from people with the European ancestry. 86% of people are from European ancestry, and this is generating biases in interpreting the data and understanding which is the therapeutic that can work for all the groups of society. So what we should do in this context is the creation and adoption of contextual and privacy-preserving data models that reflect diversity. We should adopt a culture of transparency, reflection, and learning, the so-called cultural humility, through the constant dissemination of information and participation at public events. This is also for public trust. The building of relationship with other projects and groups in order to incorporate data ethics practices into everyday operations. And then we should monitor relevant equality, diversity, and inclusion statistics. Lastly, we also tackled the sex, gender, and personalized medicine. So we see that there is still biases in health research, sex and gender biases in health research and personalized medicine specifically. We captured that in the scientific rationale that we brought together with our advisory board into the scientific conference. So gender norms, these are the challenges that we have highlighted. Gender norms, attitudes about what behavior, preferences, and products and professional knowledge are reproduced through social institutions, so are kind of reinforced, and wider cultural products may influence the development of products and technologies. They draw upon and reinforce gender stereotypes which are widely held, idealized beliefs about women, men, and gender diverse individuals, feminities and masculinities. We have seen one of the speakers presented a lot of research which are based on gender stereotypes and sex and gender stereotypes. The lack of consideration of sex and gender characteristics in health science has often and still today leads to misdiagnosis and lower health outcomes for patients and citizens. For example, in cardiovascular diseases, sex differences are recognized, but sexual dimorphism is neglected in clinical trial design, pointing to an urgent need to analyze data by sex rather than adjust it for sex. So this is one important problem that was highlighted. And most research is done in males, although this is slightly changing thanks to the research funding organization, which have now adopted and are adopting gender equality plan. A 2020 study shows that only 80% of all the COVID-related clinical trials, for example, presented sex disaggregated data. So all these challenges can be brought within three main clusters: lack of sex and gender disaggregated data, doubling the sample size or changing the design of clinical trials, and included a reporting methodology on sex and gender within all the phases of research. This is the main recommendation that were reported by experts: include sex and gender consideration in clinical trial design, report sex and gender in scientific papers. The randomized clinical trial need to include equity approaches. It is paramount approaches to raise awareness about these gender and sex and gender biases and how they affect clinical research and therefore clinical outcomes. We should raise awareness in the ethical committee and the clinical trial offices on how to assess clinical protocols, not only based on the regulatory needs, but also based on the sex and gender perspective. And we should integrate quantitative analysis with the qualitative analysis. So again, all these things are now being reviewed by the experts themselves and the advisory board. We plan to publish the report like in 2 weeks. In 2 weeks on top, and as of course in full compliance with the open access information, open access approach. This will be immediately available online in our project website. And for this, I'm done. Thanks a lot for your attention. And if you have any questions, I'm here. Thank you. Okay. No questions, so I think we can move towards the end of the first day. As I said, we have received great support from our advisory board, which I have presented before in the introductory speech. And now we are actually receiving an addressing on behalf of the advisory board from one of our members, which is Victoria Chachenko. She has tried to come here, but she's based in Kyiv, so she couldn't actually travel so easily. But she wanted to be here, to be present, and she sent us a short video.
Dear colleagues, good evening. It's really nice to see all of you, and it is big pleasure and honor for me to have a possibility to provide addressing on behalf of advisory board of the project. And I would like to say that the project Region4PerMed, it's really wonderful, successful, and fruitful. And it lasts about 4 years, but we didn't expect that it will finish so quickly. We worked very hard, and the results are really successful. We put a goal to implement IT and new technologies to medicine, to a health system. And it was also an objective of European strategy in 2011. So the main course of the project was to implement integrated healthcare with modern technologies and personalized medicine. And according to this aim, as you can see, we had about 5 topics and 5 areas to work and to provide researchers and to find new and fruitful decisions how to make health care systems in Europe better and more successful. So after these 4 years, we can say that we did a lot of work, and this project had really good results. The governance of the project was provided by 3 teams. One of them, it was our team, it was an advisory board, and I would like to thank our colleagues with whom I cooperated in advisory board, and let me to remind their faces and names here. And on behalf of them, I would like to say that we worked really hard, and our work was dedicated, directed to reviewing of all the projects, all the topics, all the conferences, programs, to make it better, to make it more ideal, and to provide for you really interesting information and result of our work. So I would like to thank also to this wonderful team, also to executive board, to technicians, to all organizers, and all of people who dedicate their time to make this project successful. And also let me make and say a special greetings and thanks to Professor Donata Corpus and her team, Marta and Dorota, who also cooperated with us and with me especially really closely to make this project and our results more successful. And I would like to say that we in the result of the project had a lot of really big number of publications, reports, which are represented on the website, and you can find them also there. Here you can see only few of them, but a lot of work was done, and result you can hear and listen and discuss on this final conference these days. And also all practices, best practices that were implemented, you will see tomorrow, and the winners of best implementations also will receive their awards. So I would like to congratulate all of us, all of participants of project, all of participants of wonderful conferences that we provided during these 4 years, and congratulate with such a successful and fruitful results and project that we did. And I hope that for future we will cooperate and maintain in team, and I hope that in future projects we will meet each other also in peaceful and wonderful Kiev and safeful Kiev. So I wish you all the best and fruitful conference in Brussels, and I hope for future cooperation, and wish you all the best and hope for future meetings. Thank you very much, and see you.
Well, that's also our hope that we can still collaborating in more peaceful times. Okay, I think with this we are perfectly on time, so we can close the first day. I would like to remind that tomorrow we will start at 9 a.m. with the presentation of the project, The Big Picture, which will give us on how artificial intelligence is actually delivering and bringing true innovation for patients. And then we will start with the Regions4PerMed Best Practices Award. We will describe the process, and we will award the 5 winners, and from which we will also hear the innovation that they have submitted and based on which they have received the award. And then we will close with a perspective on the forthcoming European Partnership for Personalized Medicine given by Dr. Monica Frenzel from ANR in France. So thanks again for this first day of fruitful conversation and discussions, and see you tomorrow morning. The European project Regions4PerMed is a project funded by the European Commission under the Framework Programme for Research and Innovation Horizon 2020. It started in September 2018 with a total budget of 1.7 million euros. It involves 6 partners from 5 different regions, which are Toscana and Toscana Life Sciences, Lombardy, Galicia, Saxony, and Wrocław. You also have one technical partner, which is the Wrocław Medical University. We had 5 technical conferences and 5 thematic workshops. We had the kickoff meeting, which was held in Milan, and of course, the final conferences. The number of experts that we have involved within the technical conferences and workshops are over 100 from a variety of disciplines, artificial intelligence, industrial representatives. The main achievement of Regions4PerMed has been to raise awareness of personalized medicine and its great impact on citizens and patients among regional stakeholders.
Regions4PerMed as a project tackles some of the most important challenges and opportunities of the future personalized medicine. The issues of big data, the collaboration between the industry sector and the healthcare sector, the need of innovation, while at the same time dealing with social issues. I do believe that Regions4PerMed was a great project, that it opened the way for new discussions and new developments, regional developments in this field. And I really hope there will be many other Regions4 projects.
For the future, TLS goal is and would be to participate and even lead similar projects on our disease where TLS have deep expertise, such as infectious disease, cancer, and health data science. We want to also bring our competence within the European Partnership on Personalized Medicine, a very challenging EU-led initiative which will channel investment in research and innovation on personalized medicine to obtain settings available for patients and citizens in the next 7-10 years.
To achieve the ambitious goal of a personalized medicine for more indications and for more patients, action at all levels is needed. European, national, regional and local.
Otra de las apuestas en medicina personalizada es la futura creación de un centro de producción de terapias avanzadas en Galicia y una unidad de investigación colaborativa.
The outcomes of personalized medicine will not end with the end of the project. All its network, all its outcomes and its stakeholders will be part of the forthcoming European Partnership on Personalized Medicine, which is the biggest initiative launched by the European Commission on this topic.
Ma il nostro impegno sulla medicina personalizzata non si esaurisce qui. Abbiamo già dato un commitment finanziario di 2,1 milioni di euro da investire in un'ulteriore ricerca transnazionale attraverso la partecipazione alla Partnership europea sulla medicina personalizzata, che investirà tra il 2023 e il 2030 circa 300 milioni di euro sul tema.
The role of the regions in a project like Regions4PerMed is the one of uptaking all the measures and activities devised by the regional authorities and to deliver them to the citizens and to the patients.
So the process of integrated care requires that different health professionals collaborate along the process of taking care for someone with a disease. The personalization and the data is necessary to collaborate between those professionals.
We are saying that personalized medicine is becoming a starting point for research. And this is something that obviously we're happy about, because it means that personalized medicine is really becoming a reality in the healthcare sector and obviously for all citizens benefiting from healthcare.